Hello, I am Maya Hernandez, and today I will be presenting my persuasive speech with my friend Lysander and my friend Shayla.
Hello.
So, let's get into it. When asked about making the pride flag, renowned American artist and villexographer Gilbert Baker said, "I decided that we should have a flag, that a flag fit us as a symbol, that we are a people, a tribe if you will, and flags are about proclaiming power, so it's very appropriate." In this speech, I will be explaining why California has an effective flag through its use of color, distinct design, and cultural relevance. Flags are important because they are a showcase of symbols, representing a place or a group of people. They are visual representations of communities and nations where people and their families come from. It's a way for people to come together as a community and show pride for their unique, shared identities. I consider myself qualified because I have traveled to almost all 50 states. I have seen many of the flags in the wild, so I know what an effective flag looks like. Most importantly, I am a California native. I know the significance of our flag. First, I will go over the California flag's use of colors, then I will discuss its distinct design, and finally, I will explain how it has stayed relevant. Now that I've given you an overview, I will explain to you the significance of the colors. So a successful flag has a condensed color palette. According to Ted K's booklet, Good Flag, Bad Flag, one of the best principles of flag design is to limit the number of colors to 2 to 3, which contrast will and come from the standard colored set. Now, while the California flag features 4 colors, I would argue that California used each of them intentionally and effectively. The white background of the flag is able to contrast with the dark brown bear and make it stand out more. The touch of green that the bear is on is also able to complement the red star in the upper left-hand corner, as well as the stripe at the bottom. Not only that, but colors themselves are significant. In visual media, colors are always intentional. They hold various meanings and can visually say a lot about a state's history and values. California does this effectively by using a white background representing peace and purity. There's also a red strip at the bottom and a star on the upper left-hand corner, which is also red, and this symbolizes courage and strength, how courage and strength are the foundations of our state and will always be something that we hold dearly. Lastly, the green grass under the bear represents our agriculture and hope. Now it's time to get into its unique design. The California flag has a unique design which illustrates its equally unique history. Part of what makes the California flag so distinct is its symbolism. According to Ohio State University, a flag's images, shapes, and patterns should relate to what it symbolizes. The flag uses the California grizzly bear and its star symbols for strength and resistance. For context, in 1846, the Sonoma Uprisings, or the Bear Revolts, were a rebellion where American settlers were then in Mexican California and seized the Sonomas and arrested the Mexican general Mariano Guadalupe Vallejo and declared the California Republic. The California Republic lasted for 25 days before the U.S. intervened, and that led to California becoming a state. Their flag featured a grizzly bear and a lone star, and the lone star is a reference to another uprising that happened in 1836, and their lone star flag used a white background and a lone star, which symbolized how the revolutionaries wanted freedom and independence. And then they also chose a bear because it was the largest predator in the area, and it's also a fierce symbol of strength and unyielding resistance. An effective flag must be distinguishable but can also make references to other flags. According to Kay's book, an effective flag should avoid duplicating other flags, but it can still make references or even use the similarities to show how they're related. For example, Liberia is used as an example because it was founded by free slaves of the United States. So it has a similar design, but instead of 50 states on the stars, it just has one to represent how it's considered to be Africa's first free republic. And then California does something similar through its colors. It bears a similar color scheme to the Mexican flag, which is red, white, and green, with a hint of brown. And this color palette reflects how it was originally a Mexican territory, and it's a reference to also its Mexican-American history. And it's also noteworthy that California is one of 4 states that doesn't include the color blue, and this can also be another reference to its origins. The California flag itself is also a rebel. In villexology, putting words on a flag is a big no-no. In fact, Good Flag, Bad Flag says there shouldn't be lettering because words defeat the purpose. Why not just write USA on a flag? A flag is a graphic symbol and should speak for itself. However, California state says it in big bold letters. This ties back to its rebellious roots. When California was eventually acquired by the United States, they kept the lettering California Republic as a celebration for achieving their independence. Since then, it's become one of the state's most distinct features because it's unapologetic. It not only shows you what California is, but it's also bold and brave enough to tell you. Now let's get into the popularity of the California flag. It's a popular flag that stood the test of time. Even the vexillologists can agree. In a survey conducted in 2001 by the North American Vexillological Association, or the NAVA, members were asked to rate state flags across the US and Canada on a scale of 1 to 10. California ranked number 13 with an average score of 7. Even though it hasn't changed in a century, it's become popular in recent years. It's been on t-shirts, keychains, sweaters, etc. It's been on street art, referenced on album covers, and many of this merchandise has featured artists' own interpretations, and which creates many iterations and versions of the flag and keeping it new and relevant. This includes Annie Galvin and Danny Sullivan, who both made their own versions of I Love You California designs inspired by the flag. This also led to the flag's image being spread across the world and solidifying its international cultural identity. And these also interpretations also keep the flag fresh and new. And then also this flag does what it's supposed to do, which is represent a group of people. Going back to Gilbert Baker, he said, "A true flag is torn from the soul of the people. A flag is something that everyone owns, and that's where they work." Since its creation, California's flag has become something bigger. It represents the state's history, values, but most importantly, its people. It says that we are strong fighters, passionate about our nature, that we're independent thinkers who proudly stand on a foundation of strength and unity. And now let's conclude. First, I discussed the benefits of the colors in the California flag. Then I talked about its unique design. And lastly, I discussed its popularity and longevity. To end my speech, I'd like to ask you, what does an effective flag mean to you?